Alright, so this is just a little advancement on what we're going to be doing. Welcome to the next lesson where we're going to go on with the details. I'm going to put this on fast forward because it's a long video and I want to explain where the overlays, okay? I'm going to remind you that if you're not very sure, you can go along working little by little on a new layer and then you can go along adding in the lower layer. That's where the trick is. Right now, I'm coloring with a top point of view. The light would come from above, so the light is going to be coming from here. From there, sorry. As you can see, I'm trying different styles in the eyebrows, the eyes, the illuminations I care more about. I'm going to try giving her sharp teeth that I might be making up in this moment, but it's what I'm saying. I'm working from a fantasy world, so we have the free choice of creating characters however we want. So, in this case, I'm also sometimes using the liquidate filter. In this case, we wanted to get a better position that the program might give us. In the case of the illumination, I'm just using the colors that I've gone along selecting, and from there, from our color wheel, we could go along moving and varying in the same spectrum, and then apart from this, we could create superior layers with filters that would allow us to add in shadows and lights that we might not be able to see immediately, but the program could generate an effect that we might want more that we couldn't have seen unless we had a lot of practice in coloring. I'm going to tell you to use these kinds of filters as they speed your work up a ton. For example, right now, I'm going along touching up the area of the skin on the back. I'm going up and down little by little using those two brushes I was saying before, the flat one and the one with the blurry edges to create gradients and shadows to finish off our body. In this moment, I'm applying a series of shadows that I'm going to modify later with the color because I don't really like that they have such a dark tone. With Ctrl U, you can vary until I get the shadow that I like the most. I decided to add in a violet tone. I normally put in most of my work, the shadows. These colors that are more like blue, seen as shadows, normally have a large range of colors, but blues concretely adjust and adapt quite well to most drawings we're going to do. I'm adding in some points. I don't know. You can play with the suit. In this case, as she's a dragon trainer, those little orange points I put in before could be like dragon scales. Later in the case of the body, you're allowed with this liquidate filter to modify in case you might want to vary it. And you weren't very sure with the rest. Now it's just more a question of the more details you can put in, the more you want to add in. For example, I'm still on the fence with her face. I'm not super into it, adding in lights and shadows all the time. And then once we finish with the woman's body, remember that we have to move on to try and treat the same way and with the same aesthetic the rest of the, in this case, characters we have, like the dragons that are going to have different finishes because they have different structures. As you can see, I've decided to add in a series of details, like, for example, the flute, the whip, so to speak, because they're more related to the topic of the image we might have of a circus trainer, okay? For example, they might work with lions, so we imagine them with a whip or something that's going to let him control the beasts that they have to work with. And in her case, she works with dragons, so she would have to have something at least, a little bit of defense. But it's just basically the trust that she generates with these animals that helps her get along with them. What I'm doing now is emphasizing these light points, and then I'm going to clean them with the eraser, applying a series of filters like overlay on them, and then we can work them calmly and being careful on the lines. As I'm working on just one layer, I'm going to remind you, when I go on to work with the dragons, I'm going to have to be very careful because I might accidentally erase some paws that I like in the trainer. So we would have to be really careful with that. We can't ruin our drawing, not now. Now I'm just working out the details that I'm going to continue modifying in the next lesson. In the last lesson, that's going to be final details, and I'm going to finish the dragons. Okay, and that's going to be all for this lesson. See you guys in the last lesson of the course. I hope you're learning. I hope you've enjoyed all of this. See you guys later. Bye.